she's pretty. So hello and welcome to Dommy Tries This. I hope you brought your cuppa or your 64 hydro. This one says let dreaming be your wings. It's absolutely gorgeous. These are available at Amazon. They're about $15 or so, somewhere in there, as I recall. But yes, these are all available at Amazon. Just look for 64 hydro. Water bottles, and of course this one has my juice. This juice is just a little bit different. Instead of using Kroger ran out of my cranberry watermelon, so this is cranberry raspberry. Not as much of a favorite as the watermelon, but still pretty good. One of these days I'll have to try the cran blackberry and we'll see how that goes. I do know the cran cherry does not work with this. You cannot water that down and have it taste remotely good. So I'm sure you noticed the new color. She's fun. Issues with the color, but we won't talk about that now. What we will talk about is this palette. She's so pretty. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Anyway, this whole palette is textured, which is really, really neat. Everything's uplayed here. It is not, there's no flocking or fur or anything. It's just all, I don't know if you can even see. You can see how it's kind of raised. That's the kind of texturing that we've got here. Gorgeous in the palette, gorgeous in the colors. Just overall a gorgeous palette. And if you are interested in this palette, how it performs, how I did this look, right there, then just keep on watching. One more look before we go ahead and besmirch the palette. She is so gorgeous. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited to be go ahead and showing this all to you guys. It's so pretty. And I do have a plan for it. My plan includes one shade from the Lorella Tropic Like It's Hot palette. Some of you are familiar with this from my Make Up My Art series. It does have a lot of the primary colors that I like to use. However, there's a couple of shades in here that have been calling my name since I purchased it for upstairs. So I picked up a second one for down here where I do my makeup, and we're going to use this shade here. If you are interested in this palette, I picked this second one up for $12, so I think it's on its way out. And you'll want to go and check and see if you can go ahead and pick that up quickly, because I think Lorella is discontinuing this. Lorella quality isn't Cosmic Brushes or Nomad quality, but it's fairly decent. It's fairly decent. It's not an absolute fave, but it's not one of the ones that I would throw out the door. So obviously I picked up a palette. Anyway, we have you a little bit high, I think. I'm sitting here trying to figure out where you need to be. And we have you as close as you're going to be. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, I do have a plan. I am doing one thing just a little bit different. We are going to start with this color Yellow Poplar. And we're going to actually do in the crease first with that. Right, not doing right under the brow first. But there's a reason for that. I kind of want these two colors to be separate that I'm using. So we're just going to go in here. And I'm controlling where it's at. I'm not going all the way up to the brow. I'm keeping it in this area just above my crease. But I'm giving myself some space in here. I really kind of want that color to... I'm hoping this other color is going to work, because my concern is I did swatch these a little bit earlier when I first opened the package, and I am thinking that this one might be, this other color I want to try, might be more of a topper, and we're going to find out. So anyway, This yellow is not as bright as I had hoped it would be. All of these still felt very soft. That's okay. You know what? I'm going to pop a little bit of this koyo over the top, I think. Just a little bit to brighten this color. Oh, hello. There's some color. That's what we needed. As y'all know, my skin has issues with pastels, so having a little bit of brighter shade is always useful. All right, so I'm going to grab Diamond Fuji, and we're going to see how that works right under the brow. If I need to, I will use Mount Fuji over it to kind of bring out some color. But I want to try the Diamond Fuji by itself first. Oh, she's there. Oh, you can see that. That's pretty. It's a very light blue. Very light, an icy blue. But you can kind of see it there. And where it is meeting the yellow down here, we're getting a touch of green, just a little bit. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's been a week since I've done any of this. All right, so next thing we're gonna do, obviously, is put on some of our glitter primer. I'm gonna go 2/3 the way across. All right, got one of my long things. All right, get one side. Oops. Thank you. And I'm going to use this golden ginkgo. We're using a lot of yellows right now. It's going to change. Trust me, it's going to change. Oh, I love their formula. And I'm so glad that they've stepped back from doing palettes where the shimmery shades are all duochromes. I think there's supposed to be a duochrome in here. I'm going to pat this in and go about 1/3 of the way. Oh, she's so pretty. And as a reminder, the Nomad shades do tend to work fairly well with a brush. They're shimmers. So it's easier for me to get deep in this inner corner with a brush. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a brush in. And get that all across like that. Going to make sure my cracks and crevices are covered. Oh, she's so pretty. So pretty. Okay, now we're going to grab the Lorella, which is not a brand that I would use on my inner corners. It does not withstand my eyes very well. Getting this again. Doing the other side. Another color I want to eventually play with is this Rainforest. These, of course, these purples, but right now we're just going to grab this Cabana. Oh, that came up nice. And we're going to take that across. This is a bit more of an orangey tone. It looks almost like a duochrome. I don't think it's actually a duochrome. But we're going to take that all the way across. We're going to try to blend these two together here. Oh, that color is just beautiful. Beautiful. I think this palette, because it is so inexpensive, is one of those rare palettes where I would purchase it for just a couple of shades. Because right now, like I said, it's $12. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So that's the only color we're using from here. As you can see, it applied really gorgeous. It works really well on the paper, which is not really... Most of the products that I'm using when I'm doing the Art My Makeup actually work fairly well on the paper. Some of them have surprised me, like ColourPop works better on paper than on my face. But most of them, like the Nomads, I have to be careful with because they will oversaturate quickly in most cases. All right, so now we're going to finally get that change in color. And we're going to use a Burning Bush on the outer lid. This is another matte. She's a beautiful red. She is more of an orangey red, which is fine. It fits with that orangey yellow. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. I went a little bit full. There we go. You saw how easy that went on. That is completely Nomad. Oh, I love that. I love that. I want to bring that orange into that Lorella orange further into that red. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this and grab my thing and grab some more of this and go further in. It's become a little deeper because it's on the red. But that is a beautiful blend. It's a beautiful blend. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm already loving this. All right. Gorgeous. So I wasn't originally going to put a darker color in there because of the yellow we put up there, but I'm going to go ahead and grab some of this Momiji, and I'm going to throw that along the crease. I actually intend to use Mount Hawaii for deepening the crease and doing the little point and all that stuff. But I want to bring in some of this Momiji. She is pretty. And we're going to run that along the top. Bring it down just a little bit here. On the top. Along this outer edge. And then we're just going to go. We're not going to do the full. You know, I normally go all the way up. We're not going to do that full going up there. Just going to do this because I want some of that yellow above to show. And we're bringing just this deeper color to give some depth to that other red. Okay, And yes, I'm going to have to do a little repair work, but that's fine. We always have to do a little bit of repair work on my eyes, right? Okay, we're going to take a fluffy brush, and we're going to buff out these edges up top a little bit, around in there. There we go. I want some of that red in there. I want some of that red in there. And now we're going to get that teal, that deep teal right there. And we're going to do our defining. Oh, she's coming off more green. I was hoping there'd be a bit more blue in that. That's fine. Just doing a little bit. Like that. I'm having a little issue right there. There, I think I got it. Oh, so pretty. Doing this deep enough. You can hear one of the cats eating, probably Sora. Okay. All right, so very quickly. Grabbing our brush to fix in here. Bring that color up. She's having a hard time against that teal. And then going to grab some more of this cabana. And again, I'm trying to fix this upper area where the teal just sort of ate away at things. Because your girl here gets kind of sloppy, I guess. Putting all that in. And there we go. Can't really see the shade I use to define up there at all. Not sure how bad that is. That's fine. Do another buff up top. Blend these colors in a bit. Okay, so some shades didn't come out quite the way I thought they would. Like I said, I thought that there would be more blue. Thinking. We need more up here. That yellow isn't going to cut it by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of that darker red and bring it up some. Nomad. I know I'm butchering that. I'm sorry. So we're going to go ahead and bring this up some. Just doing a light. I had hoped to do the yellow up there, but it's not giving me enough. Set that one on. Just amaze balls, really. Very easy. Just a little bit of a brush. A little bit of a buffing out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye, finish the rest of my face, and we will be back to talk about it in a little bit. Alrighty, so as you saw earlier, this is our completed look. I actually really like it. I actually really like it. It's not quite what I had envisioned coming up with. For some reason, I thought, I don't know if it's just the way my phone showed it or what, but for some reason I thought this teal here was a bit more blue, whereas here it's definitely a bit more green. I used this, and this underneath the eye well, I think I started off with this one, then I went to this one in the middle and this one on the end. And then you probably didn't see it, but I grabbed a little bit of this red. We'll see if you can find it. And I put it along the upper edge of that wing. I don't know if you can see it. I saw it and I went, that is very pretty. That is absolutely pretty. It's just one of those little itty bitty details you do more for yourself than you do for people who see you, because they're not going to notice it, especially with these glasses I'm wearing. It's just, no, just no. I'm always amazed when I manage to go to a store and somebody says the makeup looks good, because, yeah. Anyway, that hasn't happened in a while, but then again, I haven't gone to the store in a while. All right, so notes. First of all, I did have to do some repair of this one. I'm not gonna blame Lorella for that. The damp eye issue I get is just being today. It is just there. It is determined to be a mess. However, for this one, I will say some of the color things were not what I expected. However, the overall formula of this palette is just absolutely beautiful. The color story is beautiful. I love the look. I do think that orangey yellow that I used in the middle went perfectly with what I was doing. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with the look. If I was to do it without the orangey yellow, I might go from like one of these yellows to the red and then the dark red and all of that. So I'm very careful with reds though. My hair is getting in my face. My hair is getting in all the way. Anyway, I'm very careful with reds though, because they can make you look like you're sick, like you have like a pink eye or something like that. Not something that you would really want. However, in this palette, they're beautiful and they're great. They're great as support colors. I will say that having looked at this palette, I think this is more of a support palette. I'm not sure. Well, I could probably work out a look just on the palette. I haven't used this really beautiful peachy color that might have done beautifully in the middle of the lid. I just wanted to go into those reds. This color would never show up on. Let's go ahead and swatch some of these colors that I did not use and the one color that I did use but is not really visible. Okay, so this is the first group, mostly mattes of colors that I did not use, but also that shimmery red. So as you can see, that brown, that tan just disappears into my skin. That would be good for me to use for setting the under eyes a little bit. It's kind of on the peachy side, but I'm sure I could find some use for it. This one, I'm really kind of surprised. That is Fuji. This one right here. I don't know why that didn't show up, but we're going to move on out and grab this Burnished Beach and Pampas Grass. And those are the only ones I did not use. So 2 more to show you. Oh, that might have gone really well on the inner lid as well, on the central lid, except that it's a matte. This would be a color I would put under my brow. It adds that sheen. It's got a slight pink to it. It's very pretty. Really surprised it's not more peachy, but it's really pretty and would go. It's one of, I used to like to use almost all the time a really pale pink under there, and this would be perfect, especially since the palette, that's not even a good enough cloth, especially since the palette that I used to get that pale pinky tone from is no longer around. I got rid of, it was like 20 years old, something like that, 15 years old. So it ended up, I finally ended up just finally giving up on it. Everything had dried out in it and it was done. And it was a limited edition of palette. So you can see some of those colors still hang out. Even that peach there are still hanging out after the wet wipe. That red wants to stay. But there you go. Anyway, beautiful palette. It is their usual quality. Any of the issues I had with it are because, one, my eyes. But as I noted before, the shimmers are their usual repairable formula. You got to see me do some of that repair on the inner eye. The mattes are very soft, as you saw. Most of them are very pigmented. This is definitely one of their better formulas, and this palette is gorgeous. I highly recommend it. So it'll be listed down below with the price and everything. And as I noted earlier when we were doing our look, if you want the Tropic Like It's Hot, it's hot, so you better go grab it, because at $12 I don't think it's going to be there for long. You'll have to let me know down below if you intend to get either of these palettes. And that's it for the day, and I hope you like what you've seen, and if you do, I hope you will go ahead and subscribe, share, comment, like, do all those YouTube things that help us out around here. And we're going to go ahead and get our drink and get on out of here. Very good. Alrighty, so as you all know, I love my girls. I love my dragonettes. I hope you have a good one.